Greetings!
Oh, okay. It's recording.
Okay, we're officially live.
Yeah. Why don't you start us out there?
All right. Hi. Blade. Welcome to our Game Turtles podcast, where we discuss some of the latest gaming news, along with going over some certain things in the gaming industry. Here, join with me are Six. Say hi, Six.
Hey, what's going on?
And our other host, Morb. Say hi, Morb. As this is our first time podcasting, so bear with us as as y'all listen to us gain our footing along the way, and just hopefully you'll be along with us to enjoy the ride.
This is gonna be
Or
it's gonna go very well.
yep,
I'm just opening
confidence.
tabs for my things here. So you wanted to start out with the Dead Rising?
Oh, yes. Uh, Our the first thing I'd like for us to all talk about is the upcoming Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. Capcom just recently released a trailer out during one of their little live streams. While the trailer was met with a very good reception, mostly because how the series suddenly died out after the fourth game, and it just being stagnant after that time. The game is set to release September 19th, along with it's being released digitally first, obviously, with a physical copy coming out sometime in November. So, what did y'all think about the trailer?
I will be honest. I haven't seen anything about Dead Rising recently. I was on YouTube the other day watching a full recap of the entire story. Um, I did not know there was a remake or another game coming out.
Yeah, it was. I've been keeping track of the subreddit and everything, and a lot of good reception. What about you, Morb? Did you catch any? You see the trailer?
I think he's having technical difficulties again. It's okay.
It's all right. Morb is having some technical difficulties, so we'll ask for his thoughts whenever he comes back. But yeah, the trailer was really met with some good reception. I've been mostly looking into the Dead Rising subreddit. A lot of people are mostly very ecstatic about the series finally having a revival, considering how it suddenly just dropped out of popularity. But if Capcom is giving, remakes to Resident Evil, obviously, then, Dead Rising may have a chance.
And I think
And
Dead Rising really deserves it. I've honestly
yeah,
only played the Case Zero DLC, I think it was for the
oh
360.
for the original 360. I know they released Case Zero and I forgot the other one. It was Case West, I think.
Yeah, where you play as Frank in Dead Rising 2, I believe. And
Yeah, you.
that was my first experience with the Dead Rising series.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I could never really get into Dead Rising 3, but Dead Rising 4, this last one that I believe ended with Frank dying. I never played the DLC. I really enjoyed it. I know it was not a fan favorite. A lot of people did not like it at the time.
Yeah, when I played it, I thought it was decent. The gameplay was all right, but just the changes to how they portrayed Frank and more so the psychopaths you encounter throughout most of the prior installments, just the lack of those really sort of brought down the game for a lot of people.
And They're remaking this. It's the first one they're remaking, right?
Yes, the first one. Um, but I'm hoping maybe if the first one does well enough, we'll see a remake of the second game, and then maybe Capcom will see. Well, maybe the series. There's a lot of people that really like it. Well, maybe we'll see if they're reviving it
And honestly, it's a series that deserves it.
for real. There's plenty of series out there that really do deserve some sort of love. You know, past few years ago, not Dead Rising, Dead Space had a remake, and that was very well received. I personally liked it.
And that's another like heavy hitting franchise too.
Yeah, that unfortunately did suffer quite a little bit in its third game.
I believe Morb is back.
Yes, I am
Morb,
back.
welcome back.
Hello.
And this is our other host, Morb. Say hi, Morb, since we didn't give an
Hello.
introduction.
We did, but all right.
Uh,
I was about to say he was there. What do
must
you
slip my mind for a sec.
what do you think of the Dead Rising remake, Morb?
I'm glad that they did the remake. Just, what was it? Just hopefully, they do justice. Even though for me, I have never played any of the Dead Rising games, so I don't have like the favorite factor coming in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I just know it's a really good game, and everyone else is saying it. At least I think so. Last time that I checked. But yeah, just all in all, just hopefully it does well and stuff, and hey, maybe more games in the future.
Yeah, I definitely see if this series does well enough, is well received, we'll probably see some Dead Rising or
Yeah.
not Dead, Resident Evil type of treatment.
Mm.
Hopefully not the Resident Evil 2 remake treatment though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Believe me, I love Resident Evil, but the remake of 2 was not that good. I'll be honest.
I'd say that were my thoughts for three, because three did feel a lot more cut down. It felt like you're watching a movie, but there's definitely some reels missing.
Oh yeah. And
All right.
we're 7 minutes in. 8 now.
All right, and let's move on to our next topic. How would you like to brief us on our next topic, Six?
That was actually quite a great segue with missing cinematics and reels that you kind of did. It set me up for this that just came out today. The VFX studio Axis is shutting down after 24 years. They made that reveal trailer for Dead Island back whenever it was
Oh,
first coming out.
Oh.
oh yeah, I remember that trailer. I saw it on G4 back when they were on the air.
And that Dead Island's not the only game that they've done work for. They've done work for Halo and Gears of War from Microsoft and League of Legends and Warframe. So
It's really sad to see such a really good cinematic studio just pretty much get shut down. Was there any reason as to why?
um from what I'm reading here, it they've been losing projects and with the way the industry's been going, it's just not
Yeah,
increase in labor costs and
Mm.
they
yeah,
did
that's
try doing other things. It's not really stated here, but they did explore other options before deciding to shut down.
what were those other options? I'm very curious to hear that.
It doesn't say, but they also contributed VFX work for Doctor Who, uh,
Ooh.
Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix, and The Incredible Hulk. I believe that's the 2008 Edward Norton movie that they're referencing there.
Wow, they worked on. Dang, for Love, Death, and Robots, I'm surprised that what if they helped work on Love, Death, and Robots, it didn't help keep them afloat a little bit, considering how
That's a very
well
popular
received
show.
this. Yeah, I'm very surprised. I never even knew they did work for Doctor Who as well.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, these are the things you don't really think of. All the things that go into making games, especially like trailers, VFX works, and all that.
Yeah,
And
a good trailer really can sell a game. Well, that's been seen pretty a lot of times.
we did see the trailer for what was that game? I can't think of it at the moment. Cyberpunk. There we go.
Yo, yes, that was their very first trailer they released back in. It slipped my mind when they released that trailer, but as far as I can remember, that was one of the very first instances we ever knew they were making the game.
There's Cyberpunk, and then the all the marketing for No Man's Sky,
Oh,
which you can't
no,
dog on
man.
it now. It's a really good game now.
Oh, definitely. That I'd say No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk had some really good. They honestly had some very good revivals. Not revivals.
Comebacks.
They built themselves back up. Yes.
Yeah, comebacks.
Yeah.
What do you think of this, Morb?
Yeah.
What do I think about this? Um, I completely blanked out for a second.
We were talking about the studio that made the Dead Island trailer back in 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We completely got
Honestly,
sidetracked.
yeah. Honestly, just the gaming these days. Things just happen. Things change. You know, things happen. What was it? When I first saw that, it was just randomly on YouTube, and that everyone was complaining that they were gonna make it, but they never did until now. And it's just just seeing the people's reaction to it. Their hearts and soul. Wanting the Dead Rising game, and then it never disappeared until recently. And it's just sad to see gaming developers, they put their heart and soul into the work, and then they still keep trying to do that, but just money wise, no one buys the games, or games don't do that well, or stuff like that. It's just
Yeah.
like the higher up people just taking the money out of the developers, so that way they don't have enough to live, to pay rent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate, things happen, but it is life, and life is not
Yeah.
fair.
Life definitely is not fair, but it's always good to, you know, everyone could come back from it.
Yeah,
You just pick yourself back up, you know.
Money issues seem
it
to
is
be
true.
it's a recurring theme here
Indeed.
in
Yeah.
the gaming industry. Recently EA, another perfect segue, guys. EA hiking the price of battle passes in Apex, I believe, and they removed the ability to earn the currency. I don't remember what they're called. The currency from the battle pass that you use to actually buy the battle pass, they removed it from the battle pass, so you have to pay money to buy it.
Hmm.
And we're now
Jeez.
getting twice as many battle passes too.
Hmm.
That's not a good thing. Too many battle passes, in
Unfortunate.
my opinion, can really bring a game down. But that I'm no business professional.
That's why we play games and talk on the internet.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But you know, it's money hungry companies like EA that that really leave a bad taste in your mouth, like rotten milk.
Yeah, EA isn't exactly, everyone's favorite sort of gaming company. Which it's very understandable. They have there's been several instances where they really have screwed over some of the people that play their games, along with many of the people that have worked for them.
Oh, definitely. They also have a rich history of shutting down studios that they acquire. But I feel like that's every game publisher.
Yeah, like it's I would think it was back a few months ago Bethesda shut down a few studios, especially one studio in particular being the studio that did the Evil Within games, which was
Mm.
actually pretty devastating to me considering how much of the Evil Within games left off on a cliffhanger and just for Bethesda to pretty much just pull the plug on it without giving them a chance.
The same goes for that other studio they shut down, Alpha Dog. They, I want to say they were big in the mobile gaming market. The only game they made that I'm familiar with is Mighty Doom,
Yes, they did shut down that. That was sad.
And
which Mighty
are they
Doom is going to be closing up. I want to say early August.
shutting down the servers and everything?
Yes, they
That
Yep.
when the studio was dissolved, they didn't have enough time to do much, so they turned off all mobile payments and just put a bunch of the events on a loop.
wow,
Mm,
I
that's
do want
yeah.
well that's actually pretty bad.
Yeah.
But studios, you know, they need to give more chance to these companies
Yes.
rather than just, pulling the plug, acquiring them and just pulling the plug before they could give them a chance to shine.
I agree.
Mhm.
Because some can really, if you give them the right amount of resources along with a chance to prove themselves, they could give you some pretty good results.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Good. Continue.
Oh, I was because with the right amount of support, a good product can be pumped out. You can't everyone the big ones can't really expect 10 out of 10 right off the bat. There's always going to be everyone's going to always run into a snag in the along the way, and there's always going to be a mediocre game to be made, but you know you just got to give a chance, and in the end you'll get some there could be some really good results.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
And let me pull this back up.
All right.
Wrong thing. We're about 20 minutes in, so let's move on to Morb's topic.
All right, Morb, would you like to brief us on your topic?
Yes, here's my topic. So, for all you Xbox 360 fans out there in the world that are still using it, still playing online and such, just to let y'all know, this month on the 29th, Xbox Store is closing. So make sure you get your games you want from on there or whatever, buy them, whatever, and do it fast, because otherwise, once the 29 hits, that's it, no more. You have to go on like Amazon or Mercari or whatever and find it a copy of it, the physical copy. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you still want to, go in the store, buy some stuff. Now's your chance. And you better hurry, because it's going away soon.
That is 13 days from the date of this recording.
Yep.
Um,
13 days.
I'm I'm actually really surprised they're shutting down the Xbox store, the Xbox 360 store. To
I'm
correct
not.
myself.
I'm not surprised just because since I see that it's closing, I'm following the same suit as how Nintendo does it, where they close their stores years later. They do like, what is it, like a year ago? They just shut down the Wii U store. Yes, I think so, or unless it was a few months ago. The Wii U and the 3DS store, they closed that
Yeah.
down, and they keep closing all the other stores. So I'm just following Nintendo. I'm pretty sure they're just following Nintendo too.
Xbox,
They're just
Yeah.
following
Microsoft and
Nintendo.
Nintendo do have a really strong friendship. I want to say business friendship.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
them them following each other's business models really tracks.
It really does.
Yeah. Just I'm really surprised. That's pretty much the store. That store shutting. That's the end of an era right there,
Yeah, it really is.
and it's pretty heartbreaking to see that era, console era, just slowly just fading away into obscurity.
I'll be honest.
I
I
know. All the
didn't know it was. I thought it was already closed. Back in like
uh,
2016. So this is big news for me.
I'm actually
I
really
think
surprised they kept it up for this long.
I think
Well,
they were
I'm
gonna
with you,
in
Six.
2016. I think I'm not too sure. They might thinking about closing it 2016, and then they changed their mind. At least I think. Don't quote me on that. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. But they thought about it, and they just decided, you know what, we'll leave it open for a few more years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I believe in 2020 or yeah, 2020 PlayStation had when they announced the PlayStation 5, they had also announced that the PS3 doors would also be closing.
Yeah, that
Which
is true.
that
Also, reminder, for the games for the Xbox 360, just to let you guys know, they're all on discounts. It's 50 and above, just to let y'all know.
ooh,
So you're getting a great deal. I'm checking the list, and there's a lot that are at 90, so that's good.
I might as well just you know take advantage of the discount while it lasts because once those 13 days hit, no more.
I'll take a loan
Yeah.
out of my 401k for the games. What I'm reading here is the 360 marketplace has been up since 2005, so almost 20 years.
Dang, that's
Yeah.
now that's I'm really surprised they've kept it really open for this long, especially when the one had came out.
2013.
That's very much surprising.
And we're already halfway through the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S lifespans.
That is true. Jeez.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
say
too
maybe
bad.
give it a few more years, and we'll see the introduction of the next generation.
Just the PS6. If Xbox does decide to go all cloud gaming.
That is true. Cloud.
It
Which
makes me a little sad that they're deviating away from physical media,
Yeah.
because I'd say that's also a bigger issue come now that there I believe there was an instance where Ubisoft, if you bought the crew, once the servers had shut down, you essentially the game was useless. You pretty
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
you pretty much own practically nothing of value. And that I recall seeing a lot of people really set off by that because they wanted refunds for it, because why own a game that you essentially really can't play?
I believe there was a lawsuit over that too.
Yeah,
Mm.
I believe I heard about that.
Not sure if anything ever came of it or if it's still ongoing.
And I'd like to, physical media, it's always better, when you own it. At any given
Yep.
moment, if you have it digitally, it could pretty much you could lose a license for it, and you no longer own it. But when you have it with you, at least you could take in the comfort that yes, I own it, and you could really just don't have to worry about it being pretty much just revoked at any given notice.
Hmm.
And that's why we have companies like Limited Run Games unsponsored. Um, say what you will about their their shipping times. It's nice to have a company out there that produces physical media for digital only games.
Yeah, Limited Run is definitely one of my favorites. I've bought a few items from them, and it's very nice to see one company out there that's keeping that physical media pumping when everyone else is slowly deviating more to the digital on online aspect.
I have also bought quite a few things from them, and I have no complaints. I,
Me either. Just shipping times, like you said. Yeah,
I
but
think
it's understandable.
for the
Mm.
like Master Collection or whatever for Knights of the Old Republic, that was like a 2 year wait for me. I think
Wow. What did you just have, a standard or a collector's?
I had the collectors,
Yeah, if I recall, I
Mm.
believe mostly if it's collector's items, those take longer.
and
And
I
standard
honestly
usually.
don't even know where I put all the stuff at. Any other thoughts on this?
Not really, just
Not right. Not really. Stay with
if
physical.
anyone
Keep physical
ever
media.
listen, yeah. What were you saying,
Don't throw
Mort?
away all your PS2 games. Don't throw them away. Don't throw your Xbox 360 games. Keep them, because you never meet ever to be able to get them again on the store. And then the only way you could is if you emulate. But we don't talk about that.
Well, now we're gonna get sued by
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Oh, another pack it in, guys.
Another great segue. Nintendo, still doing their prices. Still, you go to Walmart. You want Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Great, $60. Game's been out for what already, like 6 years, and it's still $60.
Yeah,
It's Nintendo. They love keeping their prices. And
they
then
can.
you know what? It goes on sale, $30.
That's that Nintendo seal of approval for you.
Yep.
Yeah,
You love Nintendo, you gotta be willing to pay the big bucks.
that was that's one of my complaints with Nintendo's. They
Mhm.
really charge too much for their games. You
Especially
know,
now. Luigi mentioned 2, the remake. They just came out, and they're charging it for $60.
60.
It's a remake of an already existing game.
Yep, already
Wow.
existing game. They didn't change nothing but just a remaster. It's just new graphics. That's it.
I would have expected like maybe a 30-40 price tag, but 60, that's almost like brand new AAA game price tag.
See, I
30 or
agree with
40
you. It
is
should be
a,
at least 30.
yeah, that's a perfect price range.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially for a remaster of an old game.
And it's not like they're hurting for money.
Yeah, and
They want more money.
You know,
like
kids,
Nintendo's one of the pretty much the big old giants in the gaming market, along with PlayStation and Microsoft, obviously.
they
But
are the
you know,
oldest gaming company.
Yeah.
But, I don't think people in their demographic, which is kids ages like 4 to 10, 4 to 12 maybe,
Mm,
I don't think they have $60 just laying around. But what do
yeah.
I
that's
know?
like
Especially nowadays, 70.
Yeah.
it's about a year's worth of piggy bank money saved up
Hmm.
just to afford one single cartridge. Obviously, no disrespect to Nintendo because they make some good games, but golly, prices
The
do not
price.
do any favors.
Yep. This is why Nintendo. This is why people do emulation.
Oh, there we go, getting
They don't
sued
want to be
again.
paying $60.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Especially for their older games, because, like, you could, like, I'm pretty sure if they were to if they were to start selling Game Boy games again as physical cartridges, they would cost $60.
Yep.
And most
They'll
of
go
those
through the
games
roof.
are over 20 to 30 years old.
Yeah. I honestly, since I was a kid during that, I honestly forget the pricing of Game Boy games back in the early 2000s.
I
I, bel-
I don't
I
either.
believe they were 30s. Let me, don't quote me on that. Let me do some research.
Growing up, I only had one Game Boy, and it got washed, so I couldn't help you.
Wow.
I had the PS2. That's all I had.
Mm,
Greatest console ever made.
yep. First ever console for me, PS2.
I'd say my
Still have
first
it.
was the 64,
Mm.
and the only game I ever had for it was Pokemon Snap.
Mine was the, funnily enough, it was the Game Boy. That was my first starter. Then it
Mm.
slowly progressed over the years.
So did you find that inflation calculator there for you?
I did not. I honestly have forgot the prices from back then,
Uh,
Mm.
considering I was a kid, so I really had no firm grasp of money back then.
Same here.
yeah.
But if I wanted to take a guesstimate, I would assume Game Boy games back in the early 2000s would typically be 30 to 20 to 30.
Sounds
Don't
reasonable.
quote me on it. Don't quote me at that. That's just a guesstimate off the top of my head.
I vividly remember walking into a game store in the early 2000s with $40 and leaving with a copy of the Incredibles game for PS2. Now, if I
Dang.
paid for it, that's a different story. I don't remember.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah. $30 to $40.
Yeah.
Oh, Nintendo games were 30, and then third-party games were 40.
Oh wow.
Dang.
Easy. That's crazy.
First party
It
games
is
were just not it.
See,
very
Nintendo,
much
you gotta
so.
learn from your past self. Make
Yeah.
it $50 instead of 60.
Or better yet, make it $10.
Exactly.
Or at least make the sales worth it.
Yeah, instead
Definitely.
of just 30.
Like the only remakes that I saw that in the past few years that Nintendo came out that was probably worth $60 were the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl remakes. But that was two games
Mm,
together, so I guess that
yeah,
would be worth the $60 price tag.
yeah.
Better than them being 60 a piece. So that I'd say definitely worth the money.
Mhm.
Hey, don't give them ideas.
Oh, I'm sure they already have that idea in the pot already.
Yes. While they're making their Switch 2.
Oh god, the Switch 2, that was announced, wasn't it?
No.
Yeah, I believe so.
Has it?
Uh, let me see. Oh, Switch 3.
Switch 3.
Oh wow. Skipping 2, go straight to 3.
Yep, they are making Switch 2. Nintendo says the best way to stop Switch 2 scalpers is to make enough consoles to meet customer demand.
I Yeah, I would say that's very effective to pretty much beating out the scalpers.
This article
But
was posted July 1st, 2024.
I can't count how many times when I first got my Switch, that I had witnessed a woman behind me buying 5 Switches simultaneously.
Good lord, man.
And just by with an just by guessing, you could assume these weren't for her kids. They were obviously going to be sold on a marketplace somewhere at a pretty outrageous price.
What? No, no, it'll only be like 500.
Remember whenever PS5s were thousands of dollars? And even
Oh
just
yeah.
the box, people were selling just the box for like $100 or $200.
So much desperation for one single box just to look at.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we were just at the store the other day, weren't we, Blade? And we saw a bunch of like PS5s and Xboxes just sitting on the shelves.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
We've come a long way in these past 4 years.
Definitely, they both Microsoft and Sony caught their footing and managed to start pumping out more consoles to meet the demand rather than slacking behind. So it's very nice to see that they finally caught their footing.
It makes you wonder if it was a marketing gimmick to sell more consoles.
Could be said, but for all the world may never know.
And we are reaching the 40-minute mark. 38 minutes, 30 seconds.
Any closing remarks, gentlemen?
Nintendo, change your price, please.
That was
Please, we're begging.
Morb's closing
No more
remark.
remasters at $60. Just please,
It's gonna
change your
be
price.
it's gonna be echoed throughout time.
Any closing remarks for you six?
Um, uh, Bethesda needs to let id take their time with the new Doom game. I know it wasn't talked about. I'm just saying it.
Mm, it's a good
I
game.
will agree. And my closing remark shall be: keep physical media alive, people, because you'll that the best thing to know is the best feeling in the world is knowing you own the game.
That new game smell whenever you pop the plastic off and open it up. Ecstatic.
Second best feeling to peeling off a screen thing off a phone.
The screen protector.
Screen protector. Well, that has been our first episode. This has been It's been wonderful to all y'all who have been listening, and hopefully y'all join us for our next episode. Next episode we'll have a more definitive schedule, and we may have had our little mistakes this time, but not everyone's perfect. We all gain footing along the way. So bear with us, and we'll catch you the next episode.
Audio quality will not improve. We are unsponsored.
Yes. Blame Discord.